When I got out of school, everything that I was doing was cut length or cut layers. I was bored to tears. As a matter of fact, at some point, I even questioned whether this is what I wanted to do because didn't seem creative for me. I couldn't get the results I wanted. I took the principles of design and I actually understood that guides move on the head or elevations create different graduations on there. Just blew my mind. It actually kept me in the industry and actually changed my life as a hairdresser.
I can really create shapes. It's not just haircuts, but I can really create shapes for my clients. And whether it's funny because they have different personalities. Some of them want to have the softer feel. So of course I'd go for either swelling or scooping, but some of them really want to see very sharp. They want to get a really hard feeling in their shape. So straight graduation. So, it doesn't, depending on their personality, their lifestyle, and just when, their actual style of dressing, their fashion. So, it goes beyond just shapes itself, but the feelings that they convey just as well.
We now understand that elevation creates graduation. How we elevate the hair produces a specific result in the line of graduation. Depending on how we elevate the hair, we can safely predict whether the line of graduation will be straight or curved. We can also predict if that curved line will scoop away or swell the volume of the shape. In order to replicate a shape, the first step is to break down the look into points, lines, and angles. When we understand that different elevations produce specific lines in the graduation, all we have to do is apply that particular elevation to that area of the shape. Hair design can be simplified into two haircuts, blunt or graduated. In other words, a hair design is either one length or has some sort of layers in it. Before we get into what each of those graduations are, here are some considerations that apply to all of them. We know that the size of the section will influence the look. If your sections are fine and small, the look will be more refined. The transition from one section to the other will be smooth. If you take wider sections, the look will be chunkier. Another consideration to think of is the type of elevation you use. Is the elevation consistent or is it a moving guideline? Consistency in elevation results in a continuous smooth line within the graduation. If the elevation shifts, the result in the graduation is a choppy or uneven line. The whole premise is to maintain exactly the same elevation as you continue to travel up or down the section. The easiest way to remember the three types of graduation is to think of the three S's: straight, scoop, and swell. In Principles of Shape, we talked about the two lines in the universe, straight and curved. Straight graduation creates a straight, hard line within the graduation, while scooping and swelling creates curved lines. Let's break them down individually. Straight graduation is produced when the elevation is at or below the horizontal. There is one exception. When it's elevated vertically at 90 degrees, we also produce a straight line in the graduation. To create a scooping effect, the hair must be elevated above a horizontal line anywhere on the head. When it is, each hair in the section has its own point of origin. The hair must do two things within the elevation to create swelling graduation: be elevated above the horizontal line of 90 degrees and wrap or lay on top of the head. With the three S's of graduation, the elevation is consistent. Now let's look at cutting with a moving guideline, or cutting to the planes of the head. Cutting to the planes means the guideline moves with each section. It creates roundness in the shape because the hair is kept the same length. This results in the silhouette of the design duplicating the head form.